calm, observational tone. From the outside, your life looks stable, but inside, you're managing a constant state of friction. You experience sharp spikes of motivation that inevitably dissolve into the same old habits and distractions by the following morning. We often point to the algorithm, a stagnant economy, or the behavior of others to explain why we feel stuck. Yet the most persistent obstruction to your progress exists within your own cognitive patterns. The modern mind frequently functions like an undisciplined child. Overloaded by decades of engineered dopamine and constant social validation, it has lost the ability to remain focused on a single, long-term objective. Exposure to 10-second content cycles has conditioned the brain to view stillness as a threat. We've reached a point where sitting alone with our own thoughts for 5 minutes feels like a physical burden. By prioritizing entertainment over training, we have effectively handed the steering wheel of our lives over to our impulses. You are now a passenger, watching your own life drift in directions you didn't choose. Taking that wheel back is the only way to ensure your external efforts actually stick. Without internal control, your mind will quietly dismantle every goal you try to build. We struggle because we have a habit of treating every negative thought as an objective fact. When the mind labels a failure as proof that you're a loser, you instinctively accept that label as a permanent part of your identity. This trap works because we confuse temporary emotional states with the final truth of our reality. We allow a fleeting feeling of insecurity to define our entire capacity for success. Escaping this requires a total separation of identity. You have to recognize that you are separate from the thoughts your brain produces and the emotions your body feels. If you can watch your overthinking, you aren't the thing you are watching. You are the observer. Practicing the pause creates a gap between a thought and your reaction. Here, you evaluate if it's useful observation or just stressed noise. Reclaiming the role of the observer immediately reduces the mind's ability to dictate your self-worth. You are no longer the storm. You are the person watching it pass by. Discipline provides the mechanical framework for this separation. Rather than a form of self-punishment, it is the process of domesticating your own psychology so it serves your higher vision. Waking up at the alarm, focusing despite a notification, proves who is in charge. Each act of discipline reinforces the observer's authority over the mind's impulses. Every single decision carries a long-term cost. Opting for immediate comfort usually results in a future defined by difficulty and stagnation. Choosing the friction of discomfort today creates a path toward eventual mastery and ease. An agitated mind works like a turbulent lake. When churning with desire, fear, and comparison, your perspective is distorted, making it impossible to see clearly. When that water is forced into absolute stillness, the distortion vanishes. This clarity lets you see reality with clinical precision, making the right decision obvious. True strategic insight doesn't come from thinking harder. It comes from establishing enough mental silence to see the board clearly before you make your move. Rebuilding this internal hierarchy requires a shift in your daily environment and habits. The process begins with rebuilding a tolerance for silence. By sitting for 20 minutes without a phone or distraction, you force the mind to exist without constant external input, strengthening its ability to stay calm under pressure. This mental stability is anchored through physical exertion. High-intensity exercise provides a biological reset, forcing a chaotic mind to synchronize with the immediate demands of the body. Finally, the content you consume, the sounds you hear, the people you spend time with must be curated. These inputs are the raw materials your mind uses to build your thoughts. If the materials are low quality, your thoughts will follow. Modern culture often equates freedom with the ability to follow every whim and impulse as it arises. However, true freedom is the capacity to hear your mind's impulsive demands and choose to do exactly the opposite. You are free only when you can override your own psychology to act in your own best interest. This is a daily management process, and relapses are inevitable. In those moments, the most significant threat is guilt. Feeling like a failure after one bad day does more to destroy your progress than the bad day itself. Moving past a reliance on daily moods requires an identity-driven purpose. When you decide who you're becoming, Your actions are guided by that vision, rather than how you happen to feel when you wake up. Transformation is the result of compounding minor victories. Aiming for a 1% daily increase in awareness and composure creates a foundation that eventually becomes resistant to external stress. By mastering your internal response, you reduce the power that external events have over your life. When you stop giving the world the keys to your peace, you develop a level of resilience that allows you to remain upright, regardless of the storms happening around you.